Hey everybody, welcome back to the Preacher and the Prodigy podcast. We made it to week 10. We got 2 full hands full of college football finished. We're hitting kind of the home stretch here with bigger conference games. Bigger conference teams starting to clash. It's getting exciting. We've really started to narrow down who we think is going to make the college football playoff. Teams are starting to come into their own. And it's really starting to be the fun time of the year where everything matters.
For everyone but Michigan.
Well,
because Michigan probably going to finish the season 8-4, maybe 8-5 if they're allowed to play in a bowl game, because without Connor Stalions and Steele Signs, there's just really no chance. I'm in favor of canceling the season because there's no hope.
We can trade our bowl bid with JMU so that they can go to a New Year's.
Yeah, that'd be a nice thing to do.
We could do everybody a favor after this whole allegation. Just give them a bowl game that everybody's
really. I mean, what do you think Jim Harbaugh will do after this year? Because there's probably working at an Arby's.
He could be the chain gang again for his son's football team.
He's gonna have a lot of time.
He could, that.
And with the death penalty next year, Preaching and Prodigy, this will be all replaced with Wyoming Cowboy gear behind us because it's pretty much over for Michigan football forever.
Well, we could keep the Raiders thing because
for sure.
Had a pretty nice win in a blizzard, pretty much.
Let's quick talk about that because you and I are watching the game. We're coming back from straight cross country. It's 4th down and 1 from the Morningside. We couldn't even tell. Maybe the 15, maybe the 12. We're not quite sure. Coach McCarty and Coach Fakema dial up a pass into the end zone, and it worked. Converts. Morningside gets beat. Northwestern scores. We go up 2 touchdowns. I didn't like the move. I mean, in the end it worked out, but I didn't like the move because it actually, instead of giving Northwestern a chance to kneel out the game, sort of, with under 2 minutes left, unlikely, but gave Morningside hope. What did you think of the play call in retrospect?
Yeah, I wasn't too worried about it. I mean, I would have been if you dropped it, obviously. But, you get the touchdown, and their defense shut them down after the first half. It was they didn't score a single point in the second half, so I think that might have been part of the game plan, understanding that they would have to score twice when they haven't been able to score once in the second half of that game. And I don't know, I'm just glad we got it where we have those kind of players that can go across the field and make those tough contested catches too. So, great win in the snow.
Absolutely, and it ended up being a 34-7 run. 34-7 run for Northwestern. Took control from the second quarter on, and really in the second half leaned on a couple of big plays. Connor McQuillan was just fantastic. Jalen Gramstad making plays. Morningside had a couple nice drives. Brown, their quarterback, did quite a bit of the running himself, and then they give the ball to fullback more often than perhaps Morningside's used to. But that's what you do in the midst of 3 or 4 inches of snow coming down during the game.
Aside from the gift that we gave to them, I think it was a fumble that set up their second touchdown of the game. Our defense really played outstanding, especially trying to tackle in those wet conditions.
Yeah. So game 1 in the snow. Game 2 is probably going to be 57 degrees. And sunny. So whenever that happens, it happens every year. Northwestern and Morningside play twice, except last year when Morningside got knocked out. Anyway, let's go back to D1 here and let's talk about the 5 games in front of us here in week number 10.
Number 1, going to Austin, Texas, where the 7th-ranked Longhorns will be hosting the now top 25 Kansas State Wildcats after probably a disappointing start to the season. Kansas State is starting to gain a little bit more attention after everybody's like, oh, they're gonna compete for the Big 12 championship again. Well,
and what did they do last week, Kansas State? They won 40,
decimated TCU
41-0, I think.
Yeah, so they're really starting to get a lot better. I might put something into this line along with Quinn Ewers being hurt. Longhorns are only favored by 4 at home. So with Malik Murphy going to get the starting job, and this really being his first big game.
I feel like we're going to have to go opposite directions on this one.
Yeah. I'm going to take Texas, even though Kansas State is really looking good. Texas, the better team. It's a home game. I think this will be a great learning experience for Malik Murphy and maybe Arch Manning if they put him in there if they're up by 2 touchdowns, sometime in the third quarter. Give me the Longhorns to come away with this game with a win and still put the pressure on Oklahoma for the Big 12 title.
Yeah. Texas seems like they peaked a little early in the season, and defeating Bama, we talked about them briefly as being potentially the best team in the country, deserving of some number one votes. And then Oklahoma happened, and then barely beat Houston. Then Ewers obviously seems to be out for an extended period of time. I'm going to agree with you, though. This is a game I think a lot of people are going to go K-State. I'm going to go Texas with you, and I think Kansas State's a good fundamental team, but athlete to athlete, I think Texas has the better players. They're at home. I think they can cover 4. So give me Texas to win this game. We'll say 27-17.
Yeah, I could see this being a lower scoring game for sure. All right, we agree. Number 2, going to Georgia Dogs. The Hedges hosting the very surprising Missouri Tigers, number 12 now after the first CFP rankings released. This, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are going to be rooting hard for Missouri in this game to try and change the college football landscape. But I'll go first here too. I don't care. I really don't see Missouri sticking around for this game hardly at all. Give me the Dogs to win this game big, because whenever they have to play in big games, they dominate. Besides maybe the Ohio State game last year, every single big game they dominate and they put their mark on whoever they play.
Yeah. When they're tested, when they're challenged, when they sense people are watching for them to fail, they rise to the occasion. We were listening to the varsity version of this podcast, A Solid Verbal, last night, and really there's just a lot of want to for a lot of people with Missouri. They want to see Missouri rise up, give Georgia a bloody nose, and take them 4 quarters. I'm with you, though. I just don't see them having the capacity to do that. I like what Drinkwitz is doing there. I think he's building a good program in the SEC East. I don't think that they're going to give Georgia a whole lot of trouble. Last week I picked Georgia to take Florida rather to take Georgia deep into that game. That didn't happen, and Georgia just blew them out. And I think maybe not to the same extent, but I do think Georgia can easily cover 2 touchdowns. I think Georgia 38, Missouri 13.
Yeah, Carson Beck is really starting to look really good.
Yep.
We agree. Number 2. Number 3, night game at the Coliseum, where the disappointing USC Trojans will be hosting the not-so-disappointing number 5 Washington Huskies. This is a night game. Over-under is probably about 157.
But didn't we hear it's 76?
It's 76, and the Huskies are only favored by 3. So they're thinking this is around a 40-37 kind of a game, which would be very fun to watch.
Yeah, we talked about this one yesterday, and I tipped you off. I think Washington wins this game. I think Washington is the second best team in the conference. I think that Oregon is going to beat them the second time around. I do not trust USC's defense to stay that close. I trust Michael Penix more. I trust Kalen DeBoer overall for building a team better than Lincoln Riley does. And so I think, Caleb Williams is going to want to sort of get his Heisman campaign back on the rails, especially in a one-on-one matchup with Michael Penix. I don't think he will do it. I think he's careless with the ball again. Give me Washington 41-28.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you. As much as we want to pick USC for Michigan, for the best of Michigan, I got
that Michigan season shot. It doesn't matter.
Well, yeah. I mean, you still want to see the upset, though. But I'm going to take Washington in this one, even though it's a night game, a hostile environment. Like you said, Caleb Williams is going to give the ball away too many times, which is going to end up being crucial in a high-scoring game like this where, Michael Penix probably is not going to be stopped. It's going to be very hard for that USC defense to get off the field, and I really think Kalen DeBoer is going to dial something up here, and that it's not going to be fun to watch for USC. Washington probably is going to score on every possession. Give me Huskies somewhere around maybe 55-38.
It'll be fun TV to watch. By the way, are we going to do the bonus game of just the over-under of the Iowa Northwestern?
Under.
So the over-under right now, is it 30 or 29? What is it at right now?
Let's pick. Right now.
Let's finish with that. We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
That's a bonus pick for this week.
Bonus pick for this week. All right, we agree again. This is a boring podcast. Game number 4, going to Bama, hosting LSU. Another night game. Great night slate this week. This game, Tide is also Rolling Tide is also favored by only 3. Sneaky close after what LSU's defense has not shown. They've not shown that they can stop opponents consistently. But Jaden Daniels is a legit Heisman candidate. It'll be fun to watch how he handles that tight environment.
Yeah. I go first. What did you say? It's Bama minus?
Bama minus 3.
Minus 3. I'm going to go Tigers to win the game. I don't know if I love it, but I think that consistency at quarterback here is with LSU much more than it's with Alabama. Alabama, for all you talk about the recent success, Bryant-Denny has not been a place that's impossible to win. And so I think LSU is probably a little bit hungrier. They've got 2 losses already. Maybe they think they can backdoor their way into the playoff potentially. They probably can't, but maybe even just Daniels' Heisman campaign will be enough. I'm going to take LSU to win the game, not just to cover. I'm going to take the Tigers. Go Tigers!
I'm going to disagree with you here. First one of this week. I think that this is a different team than it was when they played Texas. I think that the offense has gotten a lot better since whatever the heck was going on in week 3 against USF. But I think that Jalen Milroe has started to really show that he can start to lead this team and start to put points on the board. And I also think that defense, Dallas Turner is a monster.
No doubt.
Jaden Daniels kind of his life back there. I see this also be a little high-scoring game.
I do too.
But give me Bama to win this game and cover something around maybe 45-34.
Wow. You're seeing 78 points be put on the board.
45-34.
You could convince me Bama will win. You can't convince me there's going to be that many points in this game.
Who's going to stop Alabama? Not LSU's defense.
Well, you're just conceding 34 points to them, is what you just said.
Because they have Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But Bama will not be stopped. Like, it's going to be so hard for them. Again, same thing with USC. Jalen Milroe is going to have some fun back there because LSU's defense has struggled mightily in recent games.
All right. We shall see.
Number 5, maybe the last one in a long time, we have Bedlam in Stillwater. This is going to be a 2:30 game. It will be crazy. Oklahoma has obviously just dominated this series all time. It's Oklahoma State has never really got the handle on this one.
So we were talking lines on Sunday afternoon, and you thought that my prediction of Oklahoma by 8 was just stupid. And what is the line? Oklahoma by
6.
Okay, you told me 8 was crazy. Anyway, finish your thought.
Yeah, this obviously it's going to be a huge game for both teams because it's a rivalry that, thanks to college football realignment, is not going to exist for very much longer.
I'm going to go Sooners. I think Sooners can win by 8 or 9. I see this game 34-24 Oklahoma. I'm going to go Boomer Sooner. Last one, they're going to want to end on a high note. I think Oklahoma State has been playing better lately. I think Oklahoma's still got a better team. Give me the Sooners.
My heart wants to go with Oklahoma State.
Do it. Make the pick. Make the pick. You got a Cowboy on already. Make a pick.
Give me the Cowboys.
For the good of the podcast.
For the
good of the podcast, pick someone else.
Give me the Pokes. Ollie Gordon rushes for 4,000 yards and 16 touchdowns, and no. He's really looked good though, but I think that he will have to have a monster game if they want to keep up with Dylan Gabriel because you can't trust Alan Bowman. We've seen that, but I think he's going to have just another monster game. And
Brent Venables sells out to stop the run. Oklahoma wins. Give me the Sooners. All right, so we have a bonus pick this week because you told me this is an all-time. This is a record.
The
Iowa
over/under.
Iowa breaking records again.
Lowest over/under in college football history.
Is it sub 30s, like 29 and a half?
It opened at 29.5 at some places.
It's bet up a little bit now.
We'll pick it at 30.
But we're taking 30 and a half, and you're taking the under.
Give me the under. Give me Iowa wins this. Nah, give me Northwestern wins this 16-13
for 29.
For 29.
I'm going to agree with you that that Northwestern wins, but I think statistically speaking, I'm going to just take the over because as much as I'd love to see it be 10-7, I think the weather's supposed to be pretty good. And Northwestern, they're just plucky. They never are able to really do much, but they always a thorn in the side. So I'm going to take Northwestern to win the game 17-14 for 31. I'm taking the over.
Yeah, maybe since Brian Ferentz isn't playing for his job anymore, it might only score 4.
The drive to 325. I mean, really, it seems premature because all they had to do is average 112 in the last couple of games.
Yeah.
And he would have got there.
I mean,
come on, Hawkeyes. Patience is a virtue.
It's really difficult when Cade McNamara's hurt. He's just absolutely carrying that team.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But we shall see.
It's almost as if Iowa should have recruited their own guys instead of relying on Michigan washouts. Ooh! But again, Michigan season's lost anyway. So that'll do it for this week's Preacher and the Prodigy. Until week 11, I am the Very Preacher.
And